job. You guys came in, you sat down quietly, you kept the space around you nice and safe. So good job by all. The start of the school year has been awesome. It's because all 541 of you are being respectful and kind. And that sort of stuff takes care of everything. So today we have a very special all-school assembly. And we're calling this our Tiger Up Pause Assembly. And who remembers last week where I announced some Tiger Up Award winners? Who remembers that? Ready? Okay. Who are my Tiger Up Award winners? Can I have you guys stand up real quick? Who are my Tiger Up Award winners? Let's give them a big round of applause for our Tiger Up Award winners. Nice job. All right, so we're going to talk about what Tiger Up means. So we're going to open it up with a little bit of a music video that maybe has something to do with tigering up in pop.
Seems really hard to do. You feel like quitting, you feel you're through. Well, I have some advice for you. Don't give up. Keep on trying. You're gonna make it. I don't give up. Don't ever quit. Try, and you do it. Don't give up. Yeah. If you want to catch a ball, but you haven't no luck at all, the ball hits your head, hits your nose. It's your baby, your chin and toes. But try again. Keep on trying again till you land. And put your hands out in the air. Catch that ball, yes, this I swear. Don't give up. Keep on going. We're on the ball, so keep on going. Don't give up. Don't ever stop. Try. Come on, time. Don't give up.
Wow, that was a great song. So I have a question. I'm going to ask my first graders this question. Let's see if our first graders know. What was the big message from that video? What was that big message?
To keep on trying.
Keep on trying? Who's going to know the answer?
Don't give up.
Give me a thumbs up if you agree with her. Oh, spot on. First grade, you guys are so smartical. Very good, very good. We're going to talk today about POP. And POP stands for some big words. Perseverance, ownership, and practice. And Mrs. Mack is going to introduce this for us wherever she may be. There she is. This is the part where you're on the script. So, Mrs. Mack, our third grade teacher, for those of you in first and second grade that don't know her.
All right, Matthew Thornton, who can tell me what the P stands for? Let me hear it. And the O stands for? And the P stands for? And what does it spell? Pop. All right, for this school year, for those friends that are new, first graders, we have something called POP. And perseverance is the P, and what it means is trying your best, giving your best effort all the time, never giving up. Our O, which is for ownership, has to do with taking responsibility for what you do, taking responsibility for your actions, taking responsibility for your learning. And then our P, which is a practice. We practice all the time. We practice in sports. We practice reading. We practice in school. It means continuing to try and to try it again and to learn it and to learn it and saying, you know what? I may not know it yet, but I will soon. So that's what, I can't do it yet, but I will. So for the first trimester, we have some goals that everyone's going to work on. So for perseverance, everyone's going to work on, I know when I need to ask for help. What does that mean? I know when I need to ask for help. Do you raise your hand as soon as you don't know? No. Let's see what they say. It's called 3 before me. Your teacher is the me. So before you ask your teacher, hey, how do I do this? What do? I don't understand. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to think about the directions that were given. You're going to give yourself some time. Then you're going to say, let me read the room. What is reading the room? Who thinks they know? My friend right there in the orange with the, yeah, you right. Funny. With it says, yes, you, my friend. What do you think reading the room means?
Looking around to see what everyone else is doing.
Absolutely. Looking around to see what everyone else is doing. So reading the room is, I wonder if I should have my pencil out. Let me look around. I wonder if I should be getting a book. Reading the room means looking around to see what everyone else is doing and then think, maybe that's what I should be doing. Maybe that's the next direction. If that doesn't work, then you whisper and you ask a friend. So you ask a friend next to you or someone else in the room, hey, do you know what we need to do? What should I be doing? And then, if none of that works, you check with your teacher. That's the 3 before me. Think, look around the room, ask a friend, and if you cannot figure it out yet, then you ask your teacher. Our ownerships, beginning of the year, there are a lot of new routines, new teachers that you have for the year, so I know my routine and I can follow it on my own. When you come in the morning, you know what you need to do. When it's time to get ready for lunch and recess, you know what you need to do. At the end of the day, you're like, okay, I gotta get my homework, I gotta pack up my belongings. Knowing what you need to do, when you need to do it. And a routine is something that happens all the time, so you get used to it. And that's the end of my part, but one more time. What does P stand for? What's the O? And what's the last P? Now you know what I'm going to do, because I'm going to do it 3 times. What does it stand for? Nice job. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Mack. We all have goals this year, so I want you to remember those, when to ask for help, okay? And the ownership goal as well, so don't forget those. It's something always to work on. Now the Tiger Up Awards. Grades 2 through 5 know what these are all about, but my little grade 1 learners may not know about it just yet. Students that demonstrate POP, that perseverance, ownership, in practice, are recognized with special awards for doing that. Now, a Tiger Up Award isn't doing what you're supposed to, always expected to be doing. It's doing a little something extra. If that math problem is super tough and you spend some extra time on it, or if you get something wrong on a test, you go back and you study again. You don't give up. So we're looking for that school-wide, and it looks different in every grade, but everyone can Tiger Up in this building at any time. So your teacher is going to be watching. And there you'll see the posters throughout the school that talk about Tigering Up, and you can look at them sometimes to see some funny sayings that mean Tiger Up. Now, what happens when you get a Tiger Up Award? Well, a couple things happen. Or 4 things. One, you get this Tiger Up Award. It's really cool. It looks awesome on your fridge. And then you'll hear your name on announcements. They'll be tweeted out, which is pretty cool. First endeavor in the social media front. And then you go up on the school monitor in the front of the building too. So you have all these cool things. We recognize you for tigering up. So we got a story for you guys. Mrs. Basinski, our new librarian, is going to read us a story.
Okay, and this story is called Thanks for the Feedback, written by Julia Cook and illustrated by Kelsey DeWeird. My name is RJ, and sometimes when people say things to me, I have a hard time knowing what to say back. One day after school, Frankie and I were having a bubblegum blowing contest. I blew a bubble that was 29 times bigger than Frankie's. He looked at me and said, "You could go to the Olympics in the bubble blowing contest and you would win gold." When Frankie's words went into my head, I started to think about what he had said. I had no idea what to say back to him. And then all my words just started to swim. "No, I'm not really all that good. You're a lot better than I am," I said. Oops. There we go. A few days ago, Norma, the boogie picker, said, "Hey, RJ, I like that new bubblegum t-shirt." Norma actually said something nice to me. She never does that. When Norma's words went into my head, I started to think about what she said. I had no idea what to say back to her. Then all my words turned into a blur. "You just like it because it's green," I said, "the same color as your boogers." Norma blew on her bangs and rolled her eyes at me and walked away. Then she didn't talk to me for the rest of the day, which isn't such a bad thing. Then yesterday, when we were playing soccer at recess, Sam said, "Hey, RJ, you need to kick that ball with a little more of the side of your foot when you shoot, instead of using your toes." When Sam's words went into my head, I started to think about what he said. I had no idea what to say back to him. Then all my words just started to swim. "What do you know about shooting?" I said. "You're a goalie, not a forward." Sam gave me a weird look. Then he shook his head, wrinkled his eyebrows, and walked away. He wouldn't even sit by me at lunch, and that's a bad thing, because I ended up sitting by Norma, the queen of the silent treatment. Last night, I had to go to parent-teacher conferences. I have no idea why I had to go. I'm not a parent or a teacher. "RJ," said my teacher, as we all took a seat, "having you as my student is such a great treat." "Who, me?" "You're doing such a great job when it comes to spelling, and I'm very impressed with your storytelling." "You are?" "You're also keeping your desk a whole lot neater. And at our school play, you are an excellent greeter." I was. "RJ, when it comes to your math, I just can't say enough. You're one of the best. You know all the right stuff." "I do?" "We do need to talk about a few things. Sometimes your voice isn't quite as soft as it seems. I know it's hard for you to stay in your seat, but work time's the wrong time to try out your feet. I feel that you still waste way too much time. Let's work on your focus so that you can shine." My teacher's words went into my head. I started to think about what she had said. I had no idea what to say back to her. Then all of my words just turned into a blur. But I'm not the only one who talks out in class. I stay in my seat more than I used to, and I do focus. You just don't notice. Just then my mom reached over and tapped me on the knee under the table. That's her signal for, RJ, stop talking. So I did. When we got home that night, my parents made me sit at the kitchen table with them so we could talk about my conference. RJ, my mom said, your teacher gave you some really nice compliments tonight. Why didn't you just tell her thank you? When my teacher's words went into my head, I started to think about what she had said. I had no idea what to say back to her. Then all of my words just turned into a blur. RJ, when someone gives you a compliment, the best thing for you to do is to look at the person, use a nice pleasant voice, and simply say, thank you. Knowing the power of a compliment and learning how to accept praise can make you better and more successful in life. Then, RJ, my dad said, your teacher gave you some great constructive feedback on how you can do better, and you kind of sort of started to argue with her. But Dad, when my teacher's voice went into my head, I started to think about what she had said. I had no idea what to say back to her. Then all of my words just turned into a blur. RJ, feedback is a good thing. It's information that can help you improve and grow. Most of the time, when a person gives you feedback, it doesn't make you feel good. But that's the price you have to pay for growing. The way you handle feedback will make a difference in how other people treat you. Some people will give you mean feedback, but most of the time that's difficult to accept. You probably don't deserve mean feedback, but some people need to put others down so they can feel better about themselves. But just keep in mind, RJ, most feedback is just information. Remember, RJ, feedback is information. When someone gives you feedback, they're trying to improve who you are. Listen to the person and say, okay, their words just might take you far. Make sure that you listen and look at the one who is talking to you. Stay calm on the inside no matter what is said. Then, carefully think it through. Yeah, I guess there are times in your class when you talk too loud or too much. Yeah, I guess. Do you have a hard time staying in your seat during work time? Yeah, I guess. Do you need to focus more in class so you don't waste your time? Yeah, I guess. Well, RJ, I think your teacher was giving you great feedback. About 39 years later, I got up from the kitchen table and went to bed. Before I went to sleep, I thought about everything my mom and dad told me. What they said really did make sense. And the next day at school, I used the sides of my feet to kick the soccer ball, just like Sam told me to. And I made 3 goals during recess. When the bell rang, Sam came up to me and said, "You're awesome, RJ." I looked at him, smiled big, and said, "Thanks," just like my mom told me to. During work time, when my teacher gave me the special signal for sit down, stop talking, and start working, I picked up on it right away. Really tried to focus, and I got all of my work done without wasting time. At the end of the day, Bossy Bernice came over to my desk. "You stink at math because you don't show all of the steps," she said. "I bet you even copy up other people so you can get the right answers." When Bernice's words went into my head, I started to think about what she had said. She called me a cheater, and that's kind of mean. But her information is not what it seems. Maybe Bernice is just having a bad day, and unfortunately, I happened to get in her way. Maybe I should write down all of the steps. Then my teacher will know I'm doing my best. Bernice gave me feedback, and now I know feedback is information that's helping me grow. Don't cheat, I don't cheat, Bernice, I said, but you're probably right. I should write down all of the steps. Thanks for the tip. P.S. Maybe I should have my dad talk to Bernice. That's the end.
Thank you very much. So, I want everyone to take 10 seconds, close your eyes, and think about the big message of that story. Okay? No talking. Close your eyes. 10 seconds. Just come up with a little summary. All right, open. Who has one takeaway from that story? I'm going to push back to here. All right, what's one takeaway?
So, feedback's information.
Oh, feedback is information. Who else has another takeaway? I'm going to push back a little further.
Or you think about what you say to people.
Okay, that's good too. Let's do one more.
Think it through before talking.
Think it through before talking. A lot of great takeaways, and I'm sure all of you have more of them, but in the efforts to move things along a little bit, we're going to keep on going. Yeah. You guys have a homework assignment in your class, but it's a fun homework assignment. Your teachers have these Tiger Up posters, but it's an acrostic Tiger Up, meaning your class needs to come up with what Tiger Up means to them. You need to come up with a word or a small sentence for what T means and I means. So take all the information that you've heard today from the story, from the video, from when Mrs. Matt talked to you, and what does Tiger Up mean to your class? And we have 26 classes, and we're going to have 26 different ideas. So, our assembly is almost done. Our assembly today has been sponsored by the Buddy Bench.
Hey Josh, you want to come play with me down at college? Playing tag with your uncle. Sure! Take your If you're lonely it's not listen. So and they ask you if you want to play, you say, of course I'd love to play. And then your eyes will all go off and play. And if you see someone on the buddy bench, you just say to them, thank you.
So it was a little breezy that day, apparently. So, 4th and 5th grade, who can give me a quick 10-second summary of what the Buddy Bench is meant for? It's 4th and 5th grade. What is the Buddy Bench meant for?
To help people realize that they have friends.
I love that answer. Who's got one more? That was one of my favorite answers today. Let's do one more. Work down.
Asking other people if they want to play if they have nothing to do.
Excellent. So use that Buddy Bench. If you don't have anyone to play with because your best friend's homesick and you need someone to play with, go to the Buddy Bench. Some of your Matthew Thornton friends will come and find you and let you join in a game. So we're just about done with our assembly today. A lot going on. But we can't send you off without a sub.